At Humane Society of Silicon Valley, we prioritize innovation and collaboration, knowing both are essential to saving as many lives as possible. In 2017, thanks to you, our devoted community, Humane Society of Silicon Valley became the first model shelter in the world, the first to meet the Association of Shelter Veterinarians' 543 guidelines that promotes the health and wellness of shelter animals. Prioritizing animal wellness means that pets get adopted more quickly, which means ultimately we can save more lives. And the responsibility and the privilege of the role that Humane Society of Silicon Valley plays in the journey of each pet leaves a lasting impression on humans too.
When I walk through the doors to start my volunteer shift, all my other thoughts or problems vanish. I worked in a really stressful high-tech role, and I would come here every Sunday to work with the cats. And then I ended up getting involved with the foster program, and I was hooked at that point. I've been volunteering for about 15 years. Now, I remember I was doing bottle baby kittens when I was working full-time. You have to get up every 2 or 3 hours to feed them, because I knew if somebody wasn't feeding these little bottle babies, they simply would not survive. Savannah was probably about 2 weeks old. I had gotten especially attached to Savannah because she's very vocal, and at the time, we already had 3 cats. I tied a red bow around her neck and gave her to my husband for Christmas. And since then, we've had her. My role as a foster volunteer, particularly, is a huge safety net, because if we didn't even try to save these little animals, they would surely perish. My latest love is Joey. He started out as my foster dog, of course. I've probably fostered about 250 animals in total. When we pick up an animal to take them into foster, they're always frightened. They've been shuffled around. They don't know where they're going next. And I always say to them, it'll be okay. And it is.
I haven't had a dog for a while just because I was working very long hours. So I was coming here to get my dog fix. And then I got laid off from my job, and I asked if I could foster some puppies, and their faces lit up and said, oh yes, perfect timing. Having those puppies in the house really, I think it kind of saved me. I was kind of spinning my wheels there for a little while and with no direction. And then keeping Milani after the other puppies left, having her in my life. I mean, I've lost 20 pounds. I'm more social with people. I approach strangers in the park and ask them about their dog. I feel like I'm a different person because of having Milani in my life. I always said back then that, no, dogs don't belong in bed with you. But guess what? She's sleeping in the bed with me now. She wakes me up by giving me kisses in the face. I mean, you can't beat that. I've had her since she was 3 weeks old, and it's just been this connection between us. I could feel it from the very first times that I started socializing with her. She loved me like no other dog. I was in here on Valentine's Day, and they just had a shipment of dogs come in from the Madeira shelter. And as they were unloading the dogs, you could see just how scared they were, and they didn't know what was going on. And as I was taking them off the van, I was just trying to tell them, you've come to the right place. This is the place where you're going to find your forever home.
We've fostered many animals now over the past couple years, and we've learned different things from all of them. Fostering animals has really touched me in its impact on saving lives, because it really expands the capacity of the shelter from just being within the 4 walls of the shelter itself to being in hundreds of homes outside the shelter. It makes me feel like I'm making a real tangible difference in the community when I know that there's an animal in another home in a city nearby me that I had a small part in their life. That sticks with me. Being a part of Humane Society Silicon Valley has totally transformed my life in ways that I never would have imagined. It's changed the balance in my life. It makes me feel like I'm part of something bigger than I've ever been before. Bear has changed our life by bringing a ton of joy, just absolute innocence and joy to our life. Bear is very emotional. He's got high highs and low lows. He jumps off all four legs, straight up like Tigger sometimes. It was amazing to meet Bear for the first time and to know that for the rest of his life, he was going to be spoiled rotten in our home and that he was going to bring us so much joy. I couldn't have asked for anything more. If I could speak to the animals here in the shelter, I would tell them that they're going to be fine. They're going to have a great life and that they are in very good hands.
I'm immensely grateful for our devoted volunteers like Jeannie, Carl, and Debbie, for our talented staff, and for our generous donors. Through your commitment, Humane Society of Silicon Valley has reached a game-changing milestone by becoming the first model shelter. By sharing what we have learned through this process, we are already empowering our peers in animal sheltering across the country. We will continue this trajectory and adopt almost 6,000 animals into loving homes each year. And we will continue until we end pet homelessness forever.